Hey everyone, welcome back. Well, you might have noticed already that today's video is just a tad bit long. I think it's going to be a little bit over an hour. Apologize about that, but every once in a while that happens. Hopefully you can kind of bear through it. If you can't, speed up or whatever and maybe find some stuff that you do want to see. The content's not really that great. I'm going to admit that right off the bat. The video was made really more for practice for me before I head out to Moab, Utah. I'm not going to get into that. If you don't know what I'm talking about, go back on the channel, look at other videos, and catch yourself up to speed on what I'm doing. So this video chronicles my 2-day trip of riding from Martinsville, Indiana, up to Portland, Indiana, to the Vintage Motorbike Club of America, had their annual meet. I rode up there. It was like right at around 150 miles or so. I spent the night up in that area, and then I rode back the next day, 150 some odd miles. I think round trip, I wound up doing 314 miles total. And the real goal of the whole entire trip was not necessarily to go to the meet, although I did enjoy myself, loved meeting some of you guys. It was a tremendous amount of fun. But I really needed to get a practice run in on some things. In Moab, I've got to camp at least one night. I haven't tent camped in 35 years. I still have all my equipment, but it's old, outdated, big, bulky, heavy. So I had purchased all brand new equipment, tent, sleeping bag, pad, all that kind of stuff, little camp chair. But I didn't want Moab to be my first time opening this stuff up. So I really wanted to give it a dry run. So that was a good opportunity to do that. The other thing was I'm filming right now on a iPhone, my iPhone. I'm filming this, and in this video, I used the iPhone. I used 2 GoPros, a forward facing and then one facing back to me. And whenever I use the GoPros, I don't want their microphone to pick up all the road noise and everything. So I record the audio through my phone and save it on there. And then I have a Cardo unit that's on my helmet that picks up all that. And, the goal is to hopefully have it not look like a really bad English dubbed Japanese movie, where mouths are moving, but there's no voices or, things like that. So this gave me a really good opportunity to take what I have, something close to 50 video clips and 23 audio clips and all that. And I had to get them all in the right order. It was a good experience for me, and that's why this video was made. So jabbered enough. Here you go. This is my trip over 2 days from Martinsville, Indiana to Portland, Indiana. Well, we've made it to Wednesday morning, July 9th, 2025, and I'm getting ready to head out on Piggly Wiggly and head up to Portland, Indiana. I've got about a 150-mile ride this morning. I'll make a bunch of stops along the way. I'm going to be going State Road 44 from Martinsville all the way across heading east across the state of Indiana, all the way to a little town called Liberty, Indiana. And I'll be going through Franklin, Shelbyville, Rushville, Connorsville, and then get to Liberty. And once I reach Liberty, then I turn left and head due north on 27, and that'll take me through Winchester and then straight into Portland, where the show's at, the Vintage Motorbike Club show. So looking forward to that. I'll try and maybe stop along the way, film a few things as I go, hopefully give you guys something to see. But I don't know if I mentioned already, it's about 6:15 in the morning. You can see there are still lights on and so forth. It looks lighter outside them, or at least it does on my screen anyway, than what it actually is. I'm gonna wait about another 15 minutes, let the sunrise come up, and then I'm gonna head out. Well, I'm getting ready to head out. Let's see, what time is it? 6:31 or so. First little town is my town of Martinsville, Indiana. Now, like I've mentioned in other videos, I don't live in town. I live about 7 or 8 miles out, but my shop is just south of downtown Indianapolis, of Martinsville. Oh, I'm going on through. Hopefully you'll get a view of
our little town square here as we go through. Guys, this is going to be just a leisurely ride today. I am not pushing it. I'm not going to try and kill the bike. Now, I will be on a road that's probably 45, 50 mile an hour, but the bike's pretty comfortable there. At least it's not going to, I don't think we need to hit 60. Weather is a little bit iffy today. Could see some rain. All right, I don't know if you guys will see it, but up on top of this building ahead of me here, behind this tree, it says Martinsville City of Mineral Water, I believe. There is our courthouse. This is our little square. But Martinsville used to be known as a hot spot for, I think they called them sanitariums. Right here, I don't know if you saw, it's got the bats on the screen. They're building a new theater. It's supposed to have first-run movies once a month or so, and then it's also got a stage for live performances, plays. I don't know if they'll have music or anything in there or not. Not a whole lot happening in Martinsville, Indiana at 6:30 in the morning. I don't think I've mentioned it yet. The temperature this morning, let's see, I need to go this way. The temperature this morning is right around 70, maybe 72. Road closed ahead. We're going to head a detour right off the bat. It's supposed to be mid-80s or something like that today. Oh, and like I said, possibility this afternoon could get wet. I got a new helmet. I don't know if you guys can see that. Stars and Stripes. It's kind of a modular, but it has a face shield, but it doesn't have the bottom part. I was hoping to get a road closing 7.8 miles ahead. All right, well, we'll have to figure it out. It doesn't have the bottom part. I was hoping to get, some more air. Oh my gosh, they're doing chip and seal here. Loose gravel, fresh oil. Great. Maybe this wasn't the way to go. All right. I'm going to shut you guys down. It does feel a little loose. They must have just done this recently. All right, I'm going to shut you down so I can concentrate on the road just a little bit more. I really need you guys to see me wipe out. So we're coming into the town of Franklin, Indiana. I am 22 miles into my adventure. I did hit a little detour where there was a bridge out. We saw that sign earlier. So that added a mile or so to my trip. I am glad to be off of that chip and seal. If you guys aren't familiar with that, if you don't have that in your area, I guess it's a cheaper alternative to asphalt. And they just go in and lay down a layer of sticky oil and then follow that with a real thin layer of fine gravel. And it's fine after a few months. But until the traffic kicks all the loose gravel off the road, it's a little treacherous. If you're not used to it anyway, it's like running down a gravel road. I used to spend a lot of time in Franklin. I had my oldest son lived here for a few years, out closer to the interstate. I'll show you when we get out there. And then I actually, for 3 or 4 years, I guess 4, I think, I was a assistant coach on the high school the girls fast pitch softball team. All right, here is downtown Franklin, and it is a hopping little place. They've done a fantastic job. I hope the GoPro is picking up some of the things. The courthouse will be here on your right. I'm hoping maybe you guys can see that. Oh, it looks like it's under renovation. I see some scaffolding and so forth, and then all kinds of little shops. Now down here to the left at this light, there's a really cool theater called the Art Craft Theater. Similar, I think, to what they're doing in my town of Martinsville. I think Martinsville somewhat has kind of copied what Franklin did. Franklin was about 10 years ahead of us in getting the courthouse square really up and running with lots of fun little businesses and so forth. And Martinsville is just starting to head down that path. And I can't say for sure that they're trying to copy a little bit of what Franklin did, but they would be smart to. I mean, Franklin's done a fantastic job. It's a neat little town. And it also has Franklin College, which is right here on the right, the entrance. Don't know how much you guys can see that, but right here is where the entrance to Franklin College. I'm not sure how many students they have, a couple thousand maybe? 2 or 3, 4? I'm not really 100% sure. They do D3 athletics. Now, back, 10, 15 years ago when I was coaching and was active in this area, they were voted for multiple years in a row as the D3 football tailgating experience, number 1 in Division III football for the best tailgating experience. And I went to a game once, and by golly, they were doing it right. My son Jake lived right up here on the left. Okay, the house right in here with the kind of tannish, brownish roof. Looks good. Whoever's in there now, that's kept it up. Looks real good. Well, we're rolling into Shelbyville, Indiana. And I don't know if I like that. I ran across State Road 44, and it was a 55-mile-an-hour zone. And that's about all this bike does. And I just felt like I was wound out the entire time. I'm actually going to stop here in town in Shelbyville and get some breakfast. And then while I'm getting some breakfast, I may look at an alternate route, do more country roads. All right, I'm going to find a breakfast spot. I looked at the map, and there was a Grandma's Pancake House. No idea. See if I can find that, see if it's any good. Oh, right up here it is, I believe. Yep, Grandma's Pancake House. All right, we're gonna see what it's like.
Well, Grandma's Pancake House turned out to be not too bad. I just got a simple side, I can't even talk. I got a half order of biscuits and gravy and a side order of bacon. So pretty simple. Can't really mess that up too bad, but nice little place, nice people in there, had a good meal. If you're in Shelbyville, Indiana, sometime driving through, looking for some breakfast or food, might check it out. Came out of Grandma's Pancake House and saw this. Is that a Ford? I don't know. Don't ask me. I don't know what I'm talking about, but kind of cool.
I'm currently between Rushville and Connorsville, and I'm starting to see some moisture hit my mask. I hope you guys can hear me okay. This is really my first time using this helmet. I'll be curious to hear the audio when I go to edit this. See if I need to make any changes for when we go to Moab. This is I mentioned earlier, this is a new helmet. It's also a new communication system. My other helmet was a Sena helmet, and it had a Sena unit built into the helmet. You couldn't remove it. It was part of the helmet. And it worked really, really well. It did not work so well when we went to Lake Michigan and I tried to use it with Brock and Isaac and J-Bell. So I've heard good things about Cardo. And so this unit on this helmet for Moab, we all got Cardo Pack Talk Neos. And the one benefit of it is it will allow us to, it will pick up all of our voices as we communicate, which the Sena unit could not do, or if it did, I didn't know how to do it. This, super easy with the app on the phone. I think. I haven't tried it yet. I haven't been with somebody else who's got one. So hopefully when we're in Moab, I can get some good audio of the five of us chatting. What a hoot these guys are. We've got Patrick Wells down in Alabama. Southeast Vintage Cycle Rescue is his YouTube channel if you want to check that out. I got Stuart Appleton, who's a subscriber, longtime subscriber. He's ridden with me many, many times. He's down in Macon, Georgia area. Then we've got Johnny Foster, who I've never met. None of us have met him yet. Johnny lives out in Las Vegas area. He's the youngest of the group. And then we've got John Brees. John, I hope I pronounced your last name right, Brees. He is in Rochester, Minnesota. And the five of us that's our team. Woohoo! 58. Better slow her down a little bit. That's our team going out to Moab. I think we've got all the correspondences we're going to get. And we've figured out, or they have, I haven't. John and a couple of them are looking at the routes, and there's options that we can take, depending on how hard of a route we want to make it. But we're all trying to finish up our bikes and make sure they're ready. And, now that we have all the destinations and we know what the distance is, we're having to make some adjustments as far as fuel capacity, because for the first 5 days, we actually believe we land in a city or a town, someplace that has lodging, fuel, food, all those good things. Day 6, they land us out in the middle of nowhere with no supplies, so we've got to carry our own lodging, our own food, and our own fuel, and then make it from there the next day, the final day, into Hanksville, Utah. So we're all scrambling to try and figure out exactly how much fuel we need to carry. So that's kind of what's been going on recently. Well, it doesn't seem to be raining any harder than what it was, so I think I'm good for right now. Well, we are entering Connersville, Indiana. We're currently at 75 miles into our trip, so I think we're halfway. I think we're going to do about 150 to get to Portland. So Connersville from Martinsville is the halfway point. Looks like I'm turning here. I forget to turn my turn signal off half the time. I get 10 miles down the road and I look, I didn't turn signals still on. I don't have any indicators here on the dash. I should have done that. I didn't. There's a Wendy's here to my right. It's got a Hoosier biscuit bowl. Breakfast bowl. Do you have Hoosier biscuit bowls in other states, or is it called something else? Okay, I am headed now to the last little town of State Road 44. Excuse me. And that is Liberty, Indiana. And I'm not really sure how far that is. It's pretty close to the state line between Indiana and Ohio. Not sure how close, but I think when I get there, does this lane turn only? I think it was. I think when I get to Liberty, we'll go ahead and fuel up.
Well, I've made it to Liberty, Indiana. I'm 87 miles in on my trip, my 150-mile trip to Portland, and this is as far east as I go on State Road 44. I'm not really sure how much farther east the Ohio state line is, but it's not very far. At this point, I'm going to take Indiana 27, I think it's called Indiana 27, and head straight north up through Richmond, Winchester, and then into Portland. A little bit disappointed. The bike only got 64 miles to the gallon on that trip across here in 87 miles. I was, a little bit more wide open throttle than what I anticipated being. It was about a 55 mile an hour speed limit road all the way across there. But bike did just fine. It's running great. I got no issues with that. So, but 64 miles to the gallon. I was really hoping to get something more. I think in Moab we'll get considerably better than that. Obviously, just more putting than wide open throttle. So hopefully it'll sip fuel just a little bit easier. But all right, I'm getting ready to jump back up on the bike and head north up to Portland. Hopefully you guys can hear me okay. The biggest issue with my pack out is when I have to put fuel in, I gotta take all this stuff loose. But if that's the biggest issue I have, I'm doing pretty good, right? We are 87 miles on our trip. I don't know why I brought all these tripods. We're empty. I can't believe we actually made it here. You guys got to see this. I don't know if you can see that in there. If I'm looking at that, there's hardly no fuel in that thing. We're pretty lucky we even made it here. All right, I'm gonna get this fueled up. Like I said, we're 87 miles in, and then we will head the rest of the way to Portland.
Well, guys, we've made it to Portland, Indiana. I'm 144 miles into the trip right now. I know I'm looking for the Jay County Fairgrounds, but I'm not 100% sure where that's at. Oh, I better pay attention. Speed limit drops here. And then once I get up here, I gotta call my old buddy Tim Knierim. And when I say old, I've only known Tim 2 years. When I say old, I mean this man is old. Nah, Tim, I'm just messing with you. Tim's like, I think he's 76. I met him a couple of years ago. He's been the oldest participant in my spring ride the last 2 years. And he loves to come up here to Portland, and I know he's up here. I talked to him yesterday, and he said when I got up here to give him a call, and he would get me, I'm going to park my bike. I think he has a booth. I'm going to park my bike at his spot so it can be secure while I walk around the show. I'm hoping I'm going to see some kind of sign, green sign that says Jay County Fairgrounds to the right. I know it's to the right. Oh, this is a cool bridge. Pretty sure I just saw a bunch of stuff over here to my right. We'll drive through town here, and oh, girls, you don't have to hurry. We'll drive through town and take a look at Portland, Indiana first, and then I'll jump off of here, and I got to look at a map to figure out exactly where I'm going. It's a little bit bigger than what I thought it was. Lots of neat little towns when you get off of the interstate. I didn't film them all, but it's fun buzzing across 44 and up 27 and seeing all the different places. All right, oh, wait a minute, here's the sign right there, Jay County Fairgrounds. I need to turn right here. All right, guys, I'm going to head over here to the fairgrounds, see if I can find it. See if I can find Tim. And then we'll walk around the show and see what we can see.
Well, I've made it to the Portland, Indiana SWAT, or not actually, what is this? Is the Vintage
Motorbike Club of America, their annual meet.
Their annual meet. Do you have how many years?
I think it's like 52 years.
That's what I was thinking. I thought it was 50 plus. This is my good buddy Tim Canarum. He's from Casey, Illinois.
Yes.
And Tim, he's an old friend of mine. And by old, I mean I've known him like 2 years, so he actually is old.
But I am the oldest participant at Mike's ride.
That is true. The last 2 years.
The last 2 years.
What are you, 76?
76.
Good for you, man. So Tim has been gracious enough to let me park my bike here by his trailer and stuff, so it's secure. And then I'm going to start walking around and checking out the show. So thanks, Tim.
That sounds good.
All right, appreciate it.
Mike, have fun.
As I walk around, rather than bore you guys with me just jibber-jabbering and talking the entire time, I will probably just play some music, maybe go speed the video up to twice the speed or something, and just kind of give you guys a view at everything that is here. This is a very large event, and there is a little bit of everything motorbike related. Yeah, well, you'll see here in just a second.
it's hard for me to go someplace and not run into subscribers. So, what's your guys' names?
Kyle Gilbert. Anderson. Kyle Felder.
All right, guys. Thank you very much. Nice to meet all of you.
Fort Wayne, Indiana.
Awesome. This is what makes this so fun. I get to go around and meet some people that actually, each one of these guys, I think we've talked through in messages and emails and so forth. And it's nice to put faces to names. So thanks, guys. All right, well, I'm running into people right and left. This is Sean. I met Sean a few months ago. You stopped by the shop,
Yep.
and we got to meet. And he's even representing with a Mini Bike Mike shirt. Gotta love that. But he spotted me walking around and chased me down on this thing. Tell me what it is again.
The Manco Big Cat.
A Manco Big Cat. Pretty cool looking little deal. So, all right, we're holding up traffic, so we'll let you go. Thanks, Sean. It's been a fantastic day. I just keep meeting lots and lots of subscribers. I was just riding by and I got yelled at, and this is Don.
Don Slicker.
Nice to meet you, Don. Don, you're from Cincinnati area?
Yep.
And this is his first time at Portland also, and he's got a little Ice Bear Champion. This is actually a bike that was part of the Great American Monkey 1000 at one point. You can see the tag. He took off the Great American Monkey 1000 decal and put a Honda one on there, but picked this up at Mid-Ohio. Is that what you told me?
Yep.
So,
Days, yeah.
yeah, so awesome. So you going back to Mid-Ohio again here in a couple
never
weeks?
miss.
You never missed that one, huh?
Never miss. No.
Okay.
I told my daughters, I said, okay, there's a bunch of other weekends in the year. You don't have to pick that weekend because I'll still pay.
Yeah, yeah.
And you know, get my best wishes. I won't be there.
I won't be there. That's awesome. Well, it's so nice to meet you.
All right.
Thanks, appreciate it. You have a great day, rest of your day.
too.
So, all right, thanks, guys.
Thanks.
Well, you meet just about everybody at one of these meets, and look who I got here. I got Brian York from Yorkie Moto Garage, and he's just been out. Are you buying more than you're selling?
It's about 50-50.
Yeah, a place like this, you always find some goodies, and he found a box full of goodies that he's going to use, and he's got some few bikes and stuff here. I saw you out riding the Ice Bear Clone.
Yeah.
You still liking that bike?
I'm loving that bike.
They're sweet, aren't they?
It's great for a parts getter.
It is.
Electric start.
Yep.
You can get off and on 1,000 times. It's not going to kill your leg.
Yep.
And I basically built it to do all the swap meets and to go to Ohio and here and.
So you're going to Mid-Ohio?
Yep.
Yep. Going up. That's in what, another couple weeks?
2 weeks. Yeah.
2 weeks. Okay. All right. Well, Brian, good seeing you, buddy.
Yeah.
All right.
You,
Thanks.
buddy.
Well, that was a lot of fun. Got to meet a lot of people, a lot of subscribers. So much stuff around here. I know I didn't do a very good job of filming everything. It's a little overwhelming, quite honestly. And they say that there's not as many people here this year as what there typically is, so pretty good crowd. Appreciate Tim for letting me park my jalopy at his place while I went and checked everything out. So Tim, thank you very much. And to all you guys that stopped me and flagged me down, introduced yourself. Appreciate that you watch the channel and support all that. So it was really nice meeting all of you. So, all right, guys, I'm going to head out.
Well, I had a good lunch at Chicago's Pizza. And now we're going to fill back up again. How much fuel we use this time. What are we at? 154 miles. .965 gallons. Okay. Just have a few miles to the campsite. I have no idea what you guys are looking at there. Just a few miles to the campsite, going to Paradise Point Campgrounds. And so we'll see if we can get all this gear set up. Well, I got good news and bad news. Good news is I made it to Paradise Point Campgrounds. And it's basically an RV park. They do allow you to just throw up a tent, and they've gave me a site here, kind of in the middle of a ring. There's nobody really near me. And then I don't know if you can see the building over here. That's the shower house and bathroom. So that's nice that those are close. But it's got I don't know if you can see it. There's an electrical box right here. I'm not sure that you guys can see it. But it's only got 30 amp power, 30 amp plug-in, no 120 plug-in. So I got no way of plugging in my phone here at the campsite. I've never been to a campsite that didn't have, most campsites have all three, have a 120, a 30, and a 20 amp, a 30 amp, and a 50 amp plug-in. Only thing this one's got is the 30, kind of weird. So I've got my phone plugged in over to bathroom, trying to get it charged. Hopefully nobody's stolen it. Then I get my camp set up here and show you the stuff I got, my tent and so forth. So, but my first priority is my phone. I want to get my phone charged up because we were down to about 15% on it. I don't know if you guys can see that or not. I just spotted something on this picnic table. See that wire? I wonder if I can use that wire to somehow rig up a plug. See how my box doesn't have a 120, a standard plug? It's got that big 30 amp plug. Let's see if we can electrocute ourselves or blow something up. So is it a really stupid idea if it works? It says it's charging. We'll see if it continues to. I don't really think I've shown much of the campground. Come in from this little road here. That's the shower house and bathrooms. There's campers all kind of in the back. Wow, those clouds are kind of cool looking. I think there's quite a few people that live here full time. And then they've got this little circle here. Circle comes around this way, and everything on the inside of here, well, not everything, but on this end, it's all I guess they say these may be for tent sites or something. I'm the only person with a tent. That's my setup right there. But I've kind of rode the bike around. I didn't find anybody else in a tent. Most everybody's set up in a camper. So, home sweet home for the night.
Well, I hope you guys can hear me well enough. It is right at 8:30 in the morning, Thursday morning. I did not go back to the Portland Vintage Mini Bike Show today. I decided to go ahead and head home. I actually slept really, really well last night with my camping gear, which was the biggest reason I came up here to do this ride and to go see that show. Was more importantly, I wanted to be able to check out my camping situation and the gear, since I'd never used any of it. Went to bed about 10 o'clock. Woke up once or twice in the middle of the night, not too bad. But then the campgrounds got really busy at about 6 a.m. And that's when I woke up and started to kind of get up and get ready for today. So, I mean, I'm going to take that as a win. I slept most of that time from 10 p.m. to 6 a.m. So that is that's a win. I just left Muncie, Indiana. When I left the campground this morning, it was so foggy and wet. I couldn't bear it. My mask was covered. I really wanted to concentrate on, riding the bike. And so I didn't turn on the film on the camera, so sorry about that. But I made it went down to Muncie, and now the sun is out and it's burned everything off. And I had breakfast at a little place called the Madison Street Cafe. If you're ever in Muncie, highly recommend Madison Street Cafe. It was pretty good for breakfast. So I now have left, and I'm heading south on Indiana 3, and it is a 4-lane divided, so 2 lanes south, 2 lanes north with a median in between. Maybe you can see that. I don't know if you can see it or not. It is a 60-mile-an-hour road, but I don't mind. I'm traveling 52, 53 right now, and this is so much less stressful than the 55-mile-an-hour State Road 44 I was on yesterday, because it was only a single lane in each direction, and I had to get off. I got off a couple times, let traffic get around me because they were wanting to go 65 and I couldn't quite go that fast. This, like I said, I'm cruising 53 mile an hour, so I'm 7 mile an hour below the speed limit, but they have a whole nother lane that they can go around me, and that makes life a whole lot easier. I am exactly 200 miles into this trip. I don't think I'm 100 miles from the house, so it probably won't quite hit 300 miles, but appreciate you guys joining me on the trip. I had a ball yesterday. I think I've already said this in the video, running into some subscribers and meeting them, and waking up this morning to emails from a few of them with pictures and stuff that we took, and a lot of fun. I just really enjoyed it. So I think my next stop is going to be in Newcastle, Indiana, and I'm going to show you guys what I think is the world's largest high school basketball gym.
Well, I was hoping to show you the inside of the gym, but field house closed until further notice. Not sure what's going on. I don't know if you guys can see it, but over here on the left, over here, it's a great big pit. They might even call it the pit. I'm not really sure. But this high school gymnasium seats something crazy like 84 or 8,500 people. Yeah, you just can't see it. Daggone it. But when you walk in on this, you're walking around the top, and then all the seating goes down. I remember coming here with Brock as a youngster and did a wrestling tournament and watched a young man fall down those stairs, break an arm or something. But it's a rather unassuming looking building. Nothing. You would think it would be much older looking, back in the era, the heyday of Indiana basketball. And maybe the exterior here has been remodeled or something. Maybe they've built this around the original gym. I don't know, but for the size of it and the way it looks on the inside when you're in there, doesn't match this exterior at all. I'm gonna try this other set of doors. I don't think we'll be able to get in. Maybe we can, I wonder what the view through one of these windows will be like. Oh, there's only one set of these open. And it says it's closed until further notice. It certainly is. Yeah, there you go. There you can kind of see it. See how all the, it goes down. Oh, looks like it's got a track around the top here. But see, I don't know if you can really tell. It just looks really old school on the inside. The exterior does not match the inside. Anyway, world's largest high school gym, I believe, or anyway, in the U.S. anyway. I'm not, maybe not world, but check it out. Newcastle High School Fieldhouse.
All right, so I had a fun little rip down Indiana 3 or State Road 3 through Muncie and then into Newcastle, and now I've made it into Dunreath or something like that. I'm not sure how you say it. But 3 intersects, it comes to a T at US 40. And so I am now heading west on US 40, heading toward Indianapolis. And at some point I will turn left and head south back down to Martinsville. But this is a 4-lane divided highway at this point. So there is an extra lane, so I don't care. I'll run 52, 53 and a 60 mile an hour. As long as they've got a route to get around me, it doesn't bother me. So, all right, I'm gonna keep going. I may stop at Warner Steel and see Brock, see if he's there, see who's working today, because I'll run close to that before I head south down to Martinsville. So I'm currently running through Knightstown, Indiana, and since we talked about the gymnasium in Newcastle, might as well talk about the gymnasium in Knightstown. I'm not exactly sure where it's at. I think I'm right on this. If I'm wrong, I apologize, but I believe that the Knightstown, Indiana gym was the gym that was used in the movie Hoosiers. It was the Hickory Huskers home gym, and I believe they filmed that here in Knightstown in that gym, if I'm not mistaken. If I'm wrong on that, I apologize. But Knightstown, Indiana, just east of Indianapolis. Oh, wow. A few old cars in there, 57 Chevys, cool. Hopefully you guys can see that okay, but I believe that is it. That's the building where the movie Hoosiers was filmed. I don't know if either what we're looking at, any of this is the gym. I wonder if it's on the other side. Let's drive around and see what we see. Oh, here it is. This is the gym right here. All right, pretty neat. Let's get back on track. We're running through Greenfield, Indiana. I'm hoping I find another fuel station here someplace, because we're at 242 miles. It flipped just as I looked down, and I cannot remember, what was it, 160 miles when we put fuel in Portland? Here's a speedway. So, going through, boys, I'm going through. Sorry. But we're at 80 miles or better. Oh, yeah, this has got 93. Oh, but that one says out of service. Here we go. All right, I'm going to put some fuel in this bad boy.
Well, fellas, we were sucking fumes again. I put 1.323 gallons into a tank that was advertised as 1.25 gallons. So, I mean, it was just like when I stopped, the very first stop where it was at in Liberty, and I was running on fumes. We were doing the same here. There was not a whole lot of fuel left in that tank. I probably couldn't have gone another 5 miles, so glad I stopped. All right, I'm gonna go in here and grab a drink, and then we'll head into Indianapolis. Well, if you're still hanging in there and still watching this video, I really do commend you. At this point, I have no idea how this is going to turn out. I have filmed with the iPhone, I filmed with 2 different GoPros, and quite honestly, I'm not really very good at getting all that aligned in the right chronological order of things and so forth. So anyway, I did not film when I stopped in Indy. I did stop at Warner Steel, saw the kids, and then got involved with something with them, and so never did pull out a camera, so apologize about that. But I have stopped in the Center Grove area, Greenwood, Indiana, and you see a house here behind me. This house was something that Mama Warner and I bought in 1999. I know, we're off on all kind of tangents in today's video. You know, high school basketball gyms and all kinds of things, but we bought this house in 1999. It did not look like that. It was just a basic white 4-square farmhouse, and it had just shy of 5 acres. I'll turn the camera around here and show you a little bit of the property. The property's not quite as big now, a little closer to 4 acres, and I'll explain to you why. I'm gonna first show this, and this is why I actually stopped. I want to be able to show Mama Warner this great big tree broke off at some point in the last storm. Back up so she can get a reference. There's the house, there's the old barn. But we bought this house in 1999. Like I said, it was just a basic white old farmhouse, 4-square, but it sat up here by where this pole is, where this was just a 4-way, you know, I'm sure they were gravel at some point. They were paved by the time we bought it in 1999, but just had 4-way stop, no turns, no turn lights or anything. We are really close to Center Grove High School, and because of the busyness of the high school and so forth, they needed to widen all directions of the road, add turn lanes, and do all those things. And we knew that was going to happen when we bought the house in 1999. So where you see that car going across there, up there, this is Morgantown Road. Up there is Stones Crossing Road. And the south side of the house, that far side of the house, only sat about 11 feet off of Stones Crossing Road. So there was really no room to add a turn lane or do anything. So in 2007, the county came to us and said, hey, we need to make a decision. I'm gonna stand over here in the shade. We either need to buy your property and tear this house down, or we need to move the house. And when I asked them, well, how are you gonna make that determination? They said, well, whichever one is cheaper. And at the time, it was cheaper to move the house than to buy the property. Probably still would be today. So they did, in fact, pick this house up from up here, picked it up and moved it, I don't know, 100 feet, 120 feet, something like that, and put it on and it's got a walkout basement and so forth. It had a walkout basement before when it sat up there, but the property used to be 5 acres. Now this is interesting. This is the original house that was on the property, and I'll come back to that in a second, but you can see that fence down here. That was the north end of the property, but we lost because of the road here. They added a lane, and then with the property that they took up here to add an extra lane, it got shortened closer to 4 acres by the time they were all said and done, which was fine. It turned out it was a really nice, turned out to be a really nice project. But so let me go back to this. It's a barn, and I should have went back and took a picture or got a video of it. But if you look at it heading south, you can see, and I may go back down there in a minute and do a video, you can see the center of the house in the middle of the barn if the trees haven't overgrown it. So it used to sit about where this house is now, and then when they built this house, they built it up here in the corner, and at some point when they got this house done, they took the other one. Amy found it at the Historical Society where they talked about they used horse-drawn, horses and they pulled it down here and then they turned it into a barn. But when the contractor was digging the basement for the footings, for the walls and so forth for this house, we ran into the foundation, the original foundation of that house right there. How cool is that? Isn't that kind of neat? But we lived here, like I said, we bought it in '99 and it was just a basic white farmhouse until they moved it in 2007. And in 2007, we actually had it a lighter color blue. We added a 3-car garage. We added the front porch and the stone chimney and all that kind of, or the brick chimney and all that, those sorts of things. I'll try and get more picture around the corner and then we sold it because it was 6 bedrooms and 4 baths by the time we were done remodeling it, and all the kids had moved out. We didn't need all that and didn't need to mow almost 4 acres of grass. So we sold it in 2015 and moved down to our current lake house. But I was going by here, I saw that tree down, and I really wanted to show that to Mama Warner, that big old tree. And thought, well, you know what, you guys, I've been filling you with some history today. There's a little bit of history on Mama Warner and I, and a house that we owned for about 15-16 years. Well, unfortunately, you can't really see it because the current owner has allowed this north end of the barn to be covered in ivy. But you used to be able to see right here in the center section how that was the old house, and then they added a lean-to on the left and the right and turned it into a barn. Always wanted to do something with that barn, and we just never did. We used to have over here in this corner, there used to be a backstop and had a ball diamond for when the kids played softball and baseball and so forth. But this was a great piece of property. They're behind the house. I don't know if I got it earlier when I was shooting it, probably not. There's a 40 by 72 pole barn that the kids had, that they used to do sports in, but they had 4-wheelers and motorcycles, and they used to just run all over this property.
I'm probably done filming until I get to the shop and do a little wrap-up video. 285 miles in. It's 11:55 in the morning. I don't know. I probably have 20 miles to go, something like that, 20, 25, so we'll see. So I will get to 300. I didn't think I would, but I believe I will hit 300 miles with the little side trips that I've done on this. Alright guys, I'll see you in just a few minutes, or well, it'll be a few seconds for you, and we'll finish this up. Well, as we finish up the ride, I turned on the camera too daggone late. That was a neat stretch of twisties through the woods. My buddy Don Soul would have loved it. A little spirited ride through some twisties. You know, one thing I haven't touched on too much on this video, I don't think. I think I did a little bit early, is the upcoming Great American Monkey 1000. So excited for that. That's coming up. I got to be in Hanksville, Utah on September 27th, I believe it is, and then we take out on the 28th. going to be really interesting. I think there's about 50 of us, 49 or 50. I don't know if they ever got that last person to sign up or not. And I want to say there's 8 or 9 teams, something like that. And our team has the 5 of us. We just called ourselves the CT70 guys. Each one of us is riding a CT70 style bike. A couple of them might be, actually I think 3 of them are clones and maybe a couple originals. I'm not really sure. I think I mentioned earlier there's going to be a lot of the little monkey bikes. Maybe a few of the new Dox 125. Be interesting to see how they do. But as far as my bike, I think it's going to be fairly unique. I'm almost certain, not 100%, I'm probably the only guy in the whole field that does not have a disc brake. My bike has drum brakes front and rear, and I got a feeling everybody else is going to have at least a front disc. Of course, my front end had a disc, and I did away with it and put a drum. So I think I might be the only guy with a dual drum setup. I doubt anybody has. I'm probably the only guy with a 3-inch swing arm stretch. Don't know. I know there's a lot of 2-inch, swing arm stretches. Ones that you can buy, the Kep Speeds or whatever you call them. Unless somebody else has built a custom one and I haven't seen it. Pretty sure I'm the only guy with 4 shocks. I don't know why anybody else would do that. Because of the way I use the inside of my frame to store a lot of the parts and tools and the heavy stuff, I don't have a lot of exterior bags. And I think after this trip, I'm even going to try and pare down what I have on the back and make it even smaller. I had my sleeping pad up there on the front fender, but it fit pretty well actually in the tent bag. So I put the sleeping pad in the tent. Oh, and here we go. Back on State Road 44. We're close to Martinsville. Back on this chip and seal. And this side looks fresher than the other side. Let's see. Is there anything else unique about my bike? I know all the monkey bikes will be 125cc. I might be the only one. No, I know Stewart's taking a 125. It's carbureted. I was getting ready to say I might be the only carbureted 125, but that I won't be. I think a lot of the guys have gone, especially ones who've done this in the past, have all upgraded to 140 engines. They've replaced their 125s and have gone with 140s. Guys flipping some hay there, getting ready to bale some hay. They've cut it. He's turning it over to dry it out. Don Sol, I am not taking this very spirited. This is some loose gravel right here. I don't know. I don't really know what else to. I'm just super excited to go. Super excited to spend 7 days with my guys that are going with me.
Well, I don't know if you watched the entire video or just fast forwarded to get to this point, but I'm glad you're here. I appreciate that you took the time and effort to either watch portions of it or the entire thing. Like I said, I really do appreciate that. I had a great time. It was a fun ride. Got to put some miles on the bike, 314. It did flawlessly. I got to meet a lot of good subscribers in Portland. That was a lot of fun. All my camping gear, everything worked out fine. So that was another bonus. I am not going to take the time to put all the stuff like the tent and all, put it all in the links because I do that, and then I still get 25 questions. Hey, do you have a link for that? Yeah, it's in the description. Yeah, it's in the description. So if you are interested in something that you saw in this video and got a question, please hit me up with a comment, but I'll give you a link to the, what was that, reactive outdoor tent, and most of that stuff just came off of Amazon. So guys, thanks for following along. Appreciate it. I'll see you on the next video.